47?
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
Speaking of T-Rexes having wings,
yeah.
Have you ever seen the thing where there's this documentary that came out and it's all about unrelated identical twins?
Unrelated identical.
So
okay.
I know.
What?
Frozen embryos adopted.
No, these are like old people though.
Oh.
But they're brought in like 10 or so people that literally looked identical twins, but they're not related at all.
Doppelganger.
And have they done the ancestry stuff on them?
I didn't get that far into it. But they do like the face scanning, and like their faces would like match up like 90%. But they also said it's estimated that with every face there are 7 matches in the world.
Wow.
So there's like 7 or 6 of you in the world that look like you.
Yeah, one of them works at Publix.
So we're not even unique.
No. Not.
Aww. That's wild. So like that would be so trippy seeing someone exactly with the exact same look, like a mirror.
Yeah.
Like that would be so
I
terrible.
guess it kind of makes sense though, because of like
the odds are it's gonna happen.
If we go off of like, let's just say the beginning of humanity, there's Adam and Eve, and I think there's also other families on Earth. I think Adam and Eve were created first, and they were the focus of carrying on the
lineage of Christ.
Yeah. But if you start off with, let's just say 100 families, and they start marrying and having kids and stuff, it seems like it would repeat itself.
Yeah.
Like
eventually, sometime. Yeah. It's all gonna circle back.
Have you seen those like celebrities, like Nicolas Cage? How he there's a guy from way back and it looks just like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like William Shakespeare.
And how Taylor Swift looks like she was the I was like in the 70s or something. She was like the satanic leader.
Spooky.
Like it looks a lot like her. You should pull up a picture.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Yeah, wasn't she like a worship leader? Like she for the satanic church or something like that?
Something like that.
That can't be a coincidence. That can't be a coincidence.
Guys, if you look down at Taylor Swift, all the Swifties out there.
Would you be able to see your doppelganger and be like, I recognize that we're twins?
I think so.
First be like, an attractive guy.
Weird. No, they look different. She's giving me what's her face? She also looks kind of like Margot Robbie.
I have a hot take on twins. Like what is it? It's fraternal and what? Identical twins, real twins.
Yeah.
Fraternal, I believe that word is just made up. All right, I think it's you switched up babies.
No.
It's either you're a twin, an identical twin, or there's nothing else.
You know physiologically how it works, right?
I know how it works, but it's still like if you're not a twin that doesn't look like each other, and just don't call yourself a twin. You're not a twin. Either you're just really close brothers and sisters, or you got mixed up in the hospital. I'm sorry to say. Yeah, that's my take.
You cannot sit right now, dude. You cannot sit.
Did I ever tell you guys I was supposed to be a twin?
Really?
Yeah, there was like a whole other thing in my mom, and apparently I won for nutrients.
Yeah, you ate it.
Your brother?
Alpha from day one.
Wow.
Alpha male.
I don't know if that's an alpha. Do you take out like a 3-ounce fetus? I don't know.
I was only 2 ounces when it happened.
It's weird.
I just don't think they're real.
Do you have like a deep sense of remorse that follows you at all times?
I have a scar every now and then that exists.
Brother? Avenge me.
What?
Yo, this is, did you see that
Dude,
hurricane?
stop! Dude, stop! That's not helping.
Mexico?
Something like that.
It was
Recently?
2 days ago?
Oh wow.
Dude, it broke every record. It was coming towards Mexico at a tropical storm level.
Okay.
And in 24 hours, right off the coast, it went from tropical storm to category 5.
He's not very athletic.
24 hours?
24 hours.
Dude, that's so scary.
And so, like, no one had
He's
time
a
to
fat
prepare.
boy who wants
And I
to
just
sit
saw the
very
video
much.
today
Stop,
of,
dude,
like,
stop.
it was like a high-rise condo thing. Every single window was blown out. And the dude's just, like, looking over the edge, and it's just, like, leveled.
Bro, that's crazy. I had no idea.
Forget my ignorance, but I know they have storms over there, but is it as frequent like as
No.
ours? Okay.
They said a hurricane has never hit this part of Mexico.
Oh my
So
gosh.
they probably were hurricane blast and all of that.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the chaos that would happen
Yeah.
in Florida if that happened? 24 hours.
No,
At
Will,
5 notice.
stop.
That would be crazy.
Bro,
24.
you know there would still be people camping out in their homes
Well,
with
you can't with 24 hours. You can't leave.
I think it may have been like 48-hour warning or something. It was either 24 or 48 hours.
Still though,
Either way.
I'm just hypothetical. 24 hours. That like the highways would be packed. There'd be wrecks. Dude, people would be going nuts.
Yeah, so the storm went from being 50 miles an hour to 165 miles an hour.
Oh
when
my
it hit.
gosh. Oh my
That's
gosh.
insane.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine the seashells though?
Just
There
in the middle
probably
of
is a lot of crazy stuff that got washed up.
Some
Yeah.
megalodon teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, be praying for the people there because
Certainly.
their town got wrecked.
Yeah, I wish their town wasn't so fun to say.
Acapulco?
Acapulco?
Al Capone?
Al Capone.
Al Capone.
That's what it's called, Al Capone.
Al Capone.
Hey, I'm Al Capone.
Yeah.
That's scary, dude. Hurricanes. We're almost out of hurricane season, right?
There's one working its way.
Yeah, I think
It's like November, isn't usually the
I think it's
cutoff?
October is the end of it, right? End of October?
If Andrew wasn't a podcast editor, he would be a meteorologist.
Yeah, but like a
Every surfer.
but he would be like a
But 2 weeks in advance, like doom and gloom stuff.
Oh, I know.
Because Andrew only likes to update us whenever it's like, hey, we're gonna die in 2 weeks. And I'm just putting my hand in the sand.
Everybody thinks I'm talking hurricanes because I'm like inciting panic. I'm trying to incite stoke. I'm like, there's a storm coming. We might get a day off work and the waves might be up.
I hate hurricanes.
November 30th is the end of hurricane season.
Still got a whole month.
Hey, bring it on.
Why do you hate hurricanes? I love them. There's like an excitement in the air.
It's just from that one
Irma.
Irma.
Yeah, when we had
This is
no
more-
power for 2 weeks.
Yeah, more the aftermath.
I've had some sketchy hurricane stuff happen. I went to check the surf and it was way too blown out. A thunderstorm started rolling in. So I started running back to my house. I lived a block off the beach. And as I'm running, I hear that train sound.
Oh,
I turn
no.
around and there's a water spout coming off the water straight at me. Literally had to jump into a hotel stairway and wait as that thing spiraled out.
Will it suck you up?
Water spout, I mean, you can. They're just small tornadoes.
Stop, Lou.
It's
Come
not
on,
really
it's
like a
dangerous.
Midwest
I
type
got
thing.
something really sharp in
It
my
sounded
hand.
like a question. Are bonita fish big?
Stop.
What is
Yeah.
that?
You could say bonita fish are big.
From Step Brothers.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. You could
Yeah.
say beneath
Super
fish.
Chef Bobby Flay.
Speaking of hurricanes and fish, though, the IRS and taxes.
What about?
I saw a video.
Down with the IRS. Boo.
Dude, this video was from the early 2000s,
Okay.
and they were all
Ooh.
or past employed workers for the IRS. So 2 of them were agents, 1 of them worked for the IRS, not an agent. And they all left because they figured out federal income tax is non-constitutional, and it's actually, there wasn't a law put in place. So they're like, people are just paying federal income tax when they don't have to.
Unlawfully.
Yeah, so they're collecting taxes unlawfully, and so they quit. And someone put out a thing. They said if you can find the law that says you have to pay federal income tax, we'll give you $50,000. And that's how the one IRS agent found it. Or she's like, okay, yeah, I work for the IRS. I'm gonna find it and make $50,000. And she's like, there's no law.
What do you mean there's no law? We have to pay federal tax.
She even said upwards of 60 million people in the U.S. in the early 2000s were not paying federal income taxes. And then one guy, I saw another video, one guy that was highlighted on this, he's like, yeah, I'm not paying taxes on that. And he was brought to court, and they're like, wait a second, we don't have a law. And so they couldn't charge him with anything.
What? This doesn't make sense. Don't people go to jail for this stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
But then, this is where I think the conspiracy stuff comes in.
Yeah.
I think they're collecting it illegally. And I think a couple of years ago, because this thing got brought up again, probably 3 years ago, someone put out a reward if you can prove that the IRS, it's illegal for them to collect federal income tax. We'll pay $300,000.
Dang.
Did you prove that it's legal?
That it's constitutional.
Hey.
That it's the
Okay,
law.
got it. Okay.
And no one could, but then the IRS came out and said, actually, no, here, in this section 3 of this article, it says that you have to pay it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I think they just wrote
Wrote
that
it
down.
in. They wrote it in.
So I'm not paying taxes anymore.
Long story short,
I don't know. I kind of want to look into it.
that's such a wild thing. When did federal income tax start? When did that happen? Because it hasn't been around for 100 years. It's been around since
It was
the 50s or 60s.
the Rothschilds.
The Rothschild.
I think there's some conspiracy with the Titanic and taxes.
February 3rd, 1913.
1913. Okay.
When was the
way off.
Titanic?
Literally way off. 12.
12.
1912?
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at me, dude. That's really good.
Look at me.
Because the story goes, I forget who was on the Titanic. I think we may have talked about this. I don't know.
A little bit.
But there's someone on the Titanic that was a politician or whatever that were very opposed to the federal reserve.
Yeah.
So collecting taxes for the Federal Reserve and stuff. And the Rothschilds and another family
Yeah.
were pro.
What's the big guy?
Rothschild.
Rothschild and the Vanderbilts.
And the
Rockefeller.
That's what it was. Yeah.
I
We
think,
talked about it.
yeah. They were supposed to be on the Titanic, and they decided not to get on last minute.
Because they got a tip.
And then these guys that were very opposed to the Federal Reserve died on the Titanic. A year later, federal income tax, the Federal Reserve was established.
It's actually kind of like the opposite of kind of our guiding principles for this country, right?
So explain that.
Like we were
I'm
mad
at
about,
like a 42.
we were at like we were mad about taxes. No taxation without representation.
Oh yeah.
No taxation
our
without
founders were,
representation.
like very opposed to taxes.
Okay.
High taxes.
Or representation, which was a genuine question.
Huh?
Is it they're opposed to taxes or
They
representation?
would say no taxation without representation.
That means,
That's
what is
good.
that? It makes no sense to me. I don't understand any of that. What is
I
the
represent that you need to pay me taxes. Well, you gotta say.
Well, you are representing yourself, so.
But that's where the issues with lobbying and people who are involved in profits from the legislation they're passing, that's where all that becomes an issue. Because we're not being represented because there aren't working class people in government passing the laws about taxes, so they don't feel the pains we feel.
Sure there is. There's tons of 80-year-old billionaires.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
I relate to that.
really, really hard.
That represents
Blue collar
me.
jobs.
I've been
Yeah.
last week. I was talking to my buddy about this, and I won't say his name because I don't want him to get in trouble for his thoughts. I can't.
Anthony Russo. For Bibleist on it. But anytime we have to name somebody that's for bad, we'll just say it's Anthony.
But he works for a company that is contracted by the U.S. government,
To
and
build
I can't say. I don't want to. I don't want to get in. He builds stuff.
Builds.
really cool stuff.
Exactly.
Anyways, he's saying it's such a rigged system. He's like, so we're paid by the government, but yet the government is taxing their own employees. He says that every nut, every bolt, every tool, the government buys it and then taxes themselves. So he's like, they're just collecting taxes.
Double dip.
And he's like, it's a rigged system.
Yeah.
I said, yes.
Because
I
the
bet.
house always wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is the U.S. government Vegas?
Should we rise up? Hey,
Listen,
down with. Wait, no.
taxes are such a bummer.
Dude, they are. It's just a lot, dude. Because it's just on everything, and it keeps going up, and it just sucks. It's just.
And then why? I know we've joked about it before, but when at the end of the year, when you have to do your tax return, it's the pressure of that, of figuring out how much do I owe, or and you have to come up with it.
But
If you're
that's
wrong,
the funny joke.
you
Yeah.
get in trouble.
Yeah, it's like, hey, so you gotta pay your taxes or whatever. Okay, how much? I'm not gonna tell you.
Yeah.
But if you get it wrong, you're going to prison.
That's what it is. Just tell
You
you.
have 3 months.
You want to hear
Okay.
my tax solution? I firmly believe in this. Flat rate sales tax.
Yeah, get rid of
No
income
income,
tax.
no weird anything else. It's just a flat rate on anything purchased.
All right, commie.
They wouldn't be able to collect enough. They
I think we
wouldn't
should-
collect enough.
No,
Unless they upped it to like 40% tax.
well, what is sales tax right now? It's like
7% in the state of Florida.
yeah, they'd have to hike it up quite a bit. But I'm more pro that than
Yeah.
But then you can make your decisions on what you purchase. You can
Exactly.
decide. Yeah.
Can we all just pool our money together? Like as American people?
One of
Yeah.
And just grab like whatever you want, whenever you need it.
Yeah.
Just grab whatever you want.
Socialism.
Just like,
one of the big arguments is how much money we lose because of illegal hunting. And so if they were all paying the flat rate tax on things purchased in the United States, then we'd gain all of that money back.
Interesting.
I think they're collecting more taxes than what they're leading on to.
Probably.
And that's why we're able to pay billions and billions of dollars to certain countries.
Here's the dealio. Here's my pipe dream. Okay, and I realize that this is kind of meant to be accomplished by electing the people that you want to represent you. But instead of that, I kind of want to have the ability to check box things that I want my taxes to go to, things that I'm interested in funding.
True that, like police and firemen, so
Yeah.
the garbage.
like a certain amount of our taxes could be attributed however we want. So it's like, oh, so it's
Exactly.
like,
Because like think about what's happening in the House right now, where we're having all this trouble electing the speaker.
We just got one.
Oh, we did. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
No,
Seems
come
like a
on,
great-
stop,
seems like a
Lou,
good-
come on.
but anyway, when we have those issues, it's because they put all this petitioning and legislation up in addition to it. So when they can't settle on something, it might be over some clause in some document about saving fish that are going extinct in the country of Portugal, and it's like that's so dumb. Why are we focused on that?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Did you guys hear about the property tax and homeschool thing they tried to do in like the early 2000s? So like property tax pays for public education, and so like if you opt out of public education and want to just privately, either private school or
Yeah.
homeschool, then you wouldn't have to pay property taxes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it got shot down so
course it
damn
did.
fast.
I'm sure everyone listening right now loves hearing about
Yeah.
taxes. This is like a conversation that we
yeah.
have.
please
100%.
stop,
Yeah.
please
All the kids
stop.
are like,
Taxes,
yeah,
dumb.
I hate taxes. I think they're getting a little bit of an indication of where we lean politically, though, with all this conversation, though.
I'm leaning in no direction.
You said I was a socialist? Is that what you guys said? I'm like that. That's where I'm at. Right?
No.
I think that sounds good.
Take
No,
that.
because I love no, I love social media, so I'm a socialist.
I love being social.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Yeah,
I'm just a socialist, guys. I love going to parties.
we're not socialists.
I love going to socialist parties.
Oh.
But yeah. But speaking of taxes,
What?
we gotta go anywhere. I gotta pee. Andy,
Yes?
taxes are terrible, but you know what's not terrible?
Oh, please tell me.
Sunday Cool Tees, where we print the coolest custom T-shirts in all the land.
I've heard of that place.
Yes, unfortunately, you do still have to pay taxes on those, I think, and depending on your state. But unless you're a nonprofit, but we have the coolest inks in the whole world.
You're telling me I heard you have an iridescent ink. Is that
Yes,
true?
an iridescent ink. There's an ink that glimmers and shines like the sun when you move your body.
I've heard rumors of this iridescent ink. It reflects multiple colors as it changes, like as you shift and the colors reflect off of it. It's beautiful.
It is absolutely gorgeous.
So you should go to SundayCool.com, order t-shirts for your company, your group, whatever, and try maybe the iridescent ink for an extra special shimmer.
Yes.
Yes!
Okay.
Went up to what, 50?
53.
You're at 53?
Nice. Bordering 58.
Oh! It's a fucking jump.
My brain is working way better doing a morning pod.
Does it?
Yep.
I think it was the Benadryl.
Ooh.
Just made me super groggy.
Yeah. Is it groggy or droggy?
I would say groggy.
I think I've said droggy before. I'm like, that's not right.
Druggy.
Druggy. I
Makes
know
me super
druggy.
groggy.
Dragging and groggy.
Makes me super groggy.
Groggy.
Benadryl's the same exact thing as Equal, though. It's the exact same ingredient.
Really?
Yep, different hydrogen.
Different hydramine. Lily just passed out.
Dude, that sounded like a gunshot. No?
It was too quiet for that.
That sounded like a gunshot.
What loud?
Bro, don't shoot me. Please, 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 please.
Andy.
Ah, don't.
No, I don't want to hit the glass.
It won't do anything.
You don't think so?
No.
Ow! Should have caught it.
How'd you? No.
I have no idea.
Oh, good thing.
Come on, Will.
Come on, baby.
Stop the shooter.
Thank you, thank you. Appreciate it.
Careful, careful, careful.
Okay.
Do you ever get that way? When someone doesn't text you back?
That's our outro.
Not really.
No.
No.
Why are you saying this Josh doesn't text you back?
No, I'm just curious. Because I feel like I've gotten to the point where it's like, I mean, if people don't text back, it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to think about
Unless
it.
it was like something really serious.
Yeah.
I have no right to feel that way because I never text anybody back.
I'm really bad about it.
I'm so glad iPhone came out with like the mark as unread. Because I always like read it and then like I go back and I mark it as unread so I go back to it. Because it's like, if you read it, then it's like it's lost. You're gone, dude.
I didn't know I did that.
You have to show me how to do that.
Yeah, you just you swipe over. Or like,
Hard swipe.
Hard swipe.
Or press.
But you know what time it is?
Oh, is it question corner?
It's question corner time.
All righty. It's question corner, question
No.
corner, question corner, Willie. Where the questions are fresh on her mind.
Being as it's the first
I love it. It's so good.
it's the first week of November. I'm gonna try to do like Thanksgiving themed questions
Nice.
all month because I like Thanksgiving. So here's my first question, Thanksgiving related, the most obvious one. For Thanksgiving, what dish do you always end up bringing, and which dish do you want to master that you've not yet attempted?
Oof. Man, I gotta look up some sides. I gotta look at
I
that.
rarely bring a dish. I just bring bread. I'm the bread guy.
Well, you're also hosting most of the time too, so you don't have to do like a lot of the cooking.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
I've never done my own turkey.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. You did a duck one time. It was excellent.
Yeah.
You did duck, and you did really good stuffing last year.
Thanks.
So you master stuffing.
Hot take, I can't stand turkey.
Really? Yeah. I mean, you just gotta do it right. It's just gotta be the right.
It's just so much poultry.
What about like a turkey leg?
Love turkey leg. I love dark meat.
So how do we take that flavor and make it the entire turkey?
Photo.
That
Just
possible.
buy turkey legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, just buy turkey legs. Really. I would love to master. I don't know, what do I always bring? I mean, jalapeno poppers is what I usually bring at Thanksgiving, but that's not really a typical food.
What
But I
did
feel
you
like I think that's fine.
Last year it was
That's
something with
jalapeno poppers.
bacon, wasn't it?
Yeah, I did some. I can't remember. I did. Man, I would love to master homemade rolls. Like good rolls, not just good rolls.
I'll be the master just bread cooking. Have you seen that thing that if your friend is starting to bake bread, they're probably depressed?
That was code for everybody.
Can we just pause for a second, by the way, and recognize I've blinked and it's been a year?
Yeah.
It was just Thanksgiving,
It was.
except for I was humongous last Thanksgiving
Because of the baby.
because of brain.
Agree? We were all thinking it. We were all. I'm so glad you said. Let's talk about that.
Okay, I'll tell you what I always bring. I always bring cranberry sauce and sweet potato casserole, and nobody eats it.
Because cranberry sauce is
I
like,
will eat half.
If you listen, Lily, if no one's eating it, continue to make it.
It's my toxic trait. I don't know what it is. And
It's my red flag, and I love it.
I love sweet potato casserole, but I'm the only one that eats
But
it.
you add nuts to it, don't you?
Yeah, I do
See,
nuts.
that's-
I don't do marshmallows.
That's insane. That's why sweet potato casseroles are things, because you add marshmallows.
They're candied nuts. It's way better than marshmallows.
How about you do both?
No.
do half and
That's
half.
insane.
No.
I'll just be there, not eating it. It'll still be there.
Be a little introspective right now.
Oh my gosh.
If no one's eating your sweet potato casserole, maybe you gotta change it up.
Oh,
What?
bullet.
Hey, maybe add a little
How's
bit for
that a
them.
bullet?
A little bit for them and a little bit for you. You still
Yeah.
add the nuts, but you add the marshmallow, so it's halfway. It's called a compromise, Lil.
I think if your wife makes it, you need to finish the dish.
Well, absolutely. That's
Yeah, there's when I
actually,
tell you something, he doesn't even put it on his plate.
Bro,
I don't like nuts in my sweet potato casserole.
Like, you like healthy vegetables.
so your preference over nuts matters more than her emotional state.
Yes.
she's purposely making food he hates.
Yeah.
I take a picture of Josh's Thanksgiving plate
Yeah,
this year.
let's do that.
It's literally like brown and tan.
You do eat.
Oh,
you do eat what I bring.
Man food?
Yeah.
Man food? What the country was built on?
Listen, who's that NFL commentator? What's his name?
Oh, Al Michaels.
He said he has not eaten a single vegetable in his entire life.
And the dude's one of the greatest commentators in sports history. He's the guy that came up with the "Do you believe in miracles?" Like that guy. That's Miracle on Ice, that guy.
There's no way.
And the guy interviewing him said like, why not eat? What word did he use?
A carrot.
Yeah, but he said why? He's like, why don't you try a vegetable that's not as precarious, maybe?
Or intimidating is like the.
Well, he said like a carrot, and he's like, the carrot is like the most precarious. It's like you mean just eat a carrot?
Yeah, but then that was the first time I actually started like looking at Al Michaels. I'm like, maybe he's not doing as great as I thought. You know? It's like, wow, maybe.
What is sustaining you?
I mean, he is only 30 years old. He looks 70, so that has to do with maybe.
I know we moved on, but I want to go back to my Thanksgiving dish that I always bring because it is
Yeah.
fried rice.
Mm.
Every time I go over to someone's house, rice being at a Thanksgiving thing is like my family and people of Asian descent. It seems.
Two Thanksgiving songs you brought over your.
Yeah, what are those called?
Spam loose peas.
Yeah,
Those are so good.
Those are very good.
You've gotten pretty good at making them too.
It's like you don't do the fried rice unless you're going out to eat most of the time. So to have it at a Thanksgiving meal is like the greatest treat because, dude, gravy on fried rice.
Yeah.
Everything mixed with your fried rice is always the addition to every single bite.
It's the binder.
I'm so hungry.
Yes, it's a vehicle.
Binds everything on that plate.
So, and what's your dessert? What do you gravitate toward? What do you have to have?
Oh, I love a classic pumpkin pie with whipped cream. Love it. Like I can do.
I am a big pie fan.
Yeah.
I like peanut butter pie. Peanut butter pie.
See, I feel like Thanksgiving does not get enough desserts. I really don't. What's the best Thanksgiving dessert? Name some. I don't know. Think of some.
Pumpkin pie. My aunt always made pumpkin rolls.
Like the Swiss cake rolls, the pumpkin.
We always had pumpkin and apple pie, but I always lean toward the apple pie. And that's my favorite.
Now, you guys do stuff with stuffing. You just chew.
Stuffing.
But don't you add like a ton of vegetables in it?
No, I had celery and onion.
Celery is terrible.
What is your face about?
I hate celery.
It's cooked down.
I love stuffing until I moved to Florida, and all the stuffings I've tasted in Florida has like a ton of celery.
I do bread, onion, garlic, celery, and sausage.
Yeah, that's a thing I've never experienced before. Sausage and stuffing. That was a game changer.
I need to grow up.
Celery's too rough. I can't handle it.
Then I'll make some for you without celery.
Do you like? You would do that?
I would do that. Because your opinion matters and stuff that you don't like.
And you love it.
Yes.
Oh.
I just think this is funny. Volume matters a lot.
On Instagram?
Yeah.
Please hold. Please hold.
Because I think this dude does a really good job.
Alright, ready? 3, 2, 1. So the thing was how English sounds to foreigners. And there was a guy, to say he was from Pakistan.
Yeah, I think so.
So funny.
That's incredible. And Lily, we've talked about this on an episode, the one with Jared that didn't get recorded. Do you remember hearing about that Italian musician that created a song in Italy in the 70s? And he's like, anything in Italy that sounds American is going to go crazy. It's going to be a #1 hit. But he didn't know how to speak English. And so
Really?
he just created an Italian song that sounded a lot like English. And it's just gibberish. And so I'm going to see if I can find it. Here it is.
I'll be right up. Today. Today's a blue day. That's kind of insane. And I don't think we're gonna do YouTube either. I don't get it. How do you get viewers? Besides being entertaining. I'm getting off of here because I suck. I'm gonna go back to Twitch.